So ever since Paralives came out, I've been really interested in the simple edit terrain mode, which is whenever you start a new world and the lot is completely blank. The world is flat and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And I have been wanting to create my own town. And I've been seeing different ways to do it online, and I've kind of been tinkering around a bit myself as to what I would kind of want. And today I want to go ahead and start it. So I'm thinking that the first step to really getting this started is to get rid of all of this void space that is around the flat terrain, because it doesn't look cute and I don't want it to be super distracting. And the way that I plan on fixing that is by having water instead. So I'm going to work on placing this. I think I'm gonna have it slightly lower than the actual height of the island itself. You can kind of see the strip of flat terrain is floating there, and that's on purpose. And I'll fix that later whenever it comes time to do the terrain. But I think I'll do one on this side, and then let's try one on the other side and see if that looks good enough. In my head, I'm kind of envisioning this to be kind of a coastal town, similar to like New England in America or something like that. And I have a Pinterest board of like kind of what I was thinking this would look like, and I'll put pictures on screen of that. But I want to do an island, and I want to make it so that there's mountainous terrain, but there's also beach as well. I'm thinking that the mountain will be on like the back side of the island, and we'll have beach kind of all around. But I want there to be houses and stuff up on the mountain. And then I want the beach to be pretty substantial area as well. But I think the first step here, before we do anything with the terrain, is really just making sure that all of the edges are kind of tucked in. Okay, now obviously this is just kind of a rough draft or kind of initial layer of just making sure that the edges are all underwater. And I'm gonna do like more detailed like surface editing and making sure that the shape is different, because I don't want this to just be a square island, because that's not natural. But just for now, this is kind of the start. And I'm kind of thinking I want to do the terrain in layers, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is I want the beach to be at water level, obviously, but then everything else, I need that to be above that. And I don't really want to start building everything else until I have those beaches kind of predetermined and those areas decided. So because of that, I think I need to kind of figure out where the beaches are, and then I need to do a terrain layer and flatten everything else. And then from there, I think I can go and keep building upwards, if that makes sense. I think while I'm at it, I'm gonna try and make the island shape a bit more defined as well, and make it so that it's not square. I'm putting this rock outcrop right by the beach because I want to kind of mimic the rocks that are on the coast of the beach in the Pacific Northwest. Specifically, I'm thinking of Astoria, Oregon. I'll put a picture on screen of kind of what I'm talking about, but I think it'd be really cool to have just a few bigger looking rocks kind of on the coast as well. Even though I know that's not exactly like East Coast like I was kind of describing, I think it would still be really cool to kind of fuse that with the East Coast kind of vibe and just see what happens. One kind of trick I'm doing in this rock formation is I'm putting down like some very small areas of what kind of I would imagine to be erosion. And you can kind of see that with the valleys that are in the rock, and I think that makes it just a little bit more realistic. Alright, so I think the first layer of marking out where the beaches are going to be is done. And from there, I need to figure out what kind of this back hilly mountainous area is going to look like, and then work on the gradient, getting that back down to the flat area. And from here, I think I'm just gonna work on kind of a gradient that will kind of be like stair steps down into the main area. My only worry is that these steps kind of won't be big enough to put houses on. So this is just kind of an example of what a house would look like up here. I could definitely fit at least one. You know, I could probably squeeze a road and a house there. I think I need to put another big rock in this area similar to what we have on the beach in order to make this area not look weird. And I want to have it connect to our big formation over here. Alright, I think the stair step type of formation is kind of in, which is awesome. I'm thinking I'm going to do another kind of rock formation over here, or at least just blend it in this edge so it doesn't look like there's such a dramatic drop. And I was also thinking about adding like some sort of rock feature over here. I was kind of toying with the idea of putting a river somewhere in here, or a lake of sorts, but I don't know if I'm going to do that because I think I have to go a decent amount down to get to the water, unless there's a way I can get the water above, which I don't know if there is. This is my first time really playing around with terrain in the game, and I'm surprised at how easy it is. I feel like with a lot of other games, the terrain tools are less approachable kind of, but this is pretty straightforward. I just wish you could smooth things out more. I feel like I have a hard time with that, and I wish I could make my kind of area I'm working with smaller, because I can do it pretty big, but it's kind of hard to get the fine details. I actually don't think I'm going to do any sort of formation there. I'll just blend it and it will just be a steep drop, but I think I can pull it off so that it looks okay. So I was trying to mimic what I did on the other side over here by making another big rock formation. But this one just looks weird. Like, I think the one on the left looks cool, but this one just isn't doing it for me, so I fear we're gonna get rid of it. So I went and added these like jagged peaks along all the edges in this hilly mountainous terrain area, and I think it looks so much better now. I'm so glad I did this. I think it really ties it in, and it makes it look like it's actually a complex terrain that is naturally occurring, as opposed to me just kind of leveling it out and getting it to be that way, which is the goal. So I'm glad that actually worked out. I was starting to get a little worried for a second that it wouldn't necessarily look that way, but I think this was kind of one of those trust the process type of situations, and it ended up working out in the end. But for a second I was getting a little bit worried. And with that, I think I'm good with the actual terrain itself for right now. I'm sure as I keep working on this, I'm going to continue to keep detailing it and making it a little bit better. But the general shape of what I want, I think is kind of there. So I think the next step in this process is going to be putting in terrain paint and getting this to actually look like a piece of land as opposed to like a green topographic blob. So for the beach, it's nice because I just have to put straight up sand down, but I do have to figure out how I'm going to blend this eventually with the rest of the paint here. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's really a big like smoothness factor when it comes to terrain paint in this game. It's very abrupt, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to evenly kind of smooth it out. So the terrain paint I'm using is technically asphalt, but it's the closest thing we have to a sort of rock-like paint. So it's gonna have to do. And so far, I feel like you can't tell that it's asphalt, so there's that at least. Alright, I'm kind of liking how at least the start of this rock terrain paint is looking. Definitely needs to be detailed and worked on, but for now I think it's really cool to see the defined areas and land for everything. And then just to do like a check, let's like build like a fake house, or the outline of a fake house at least. Like, let's say that's like the size of one house. Like, we should be able to fit so much up here, at the top over here. There should be whole neighborhoods, which I'm very excited about. Since there really isn't a way to like smooth out the terrain, it's very like harsh lines. I was trying to use like the dirt and rocks terrain and then the sand terrain to kind of create some sort of divide, but I'm really not sure if I like the look of that or if I like the look of just like the sand against the rocks better. I feel like the dirt and the rocks and the sand is just kind of doing too much, so I might just paint over that and just have the sand. Yeah, I think that just the sand looks better. I don't want there to be too much going on, and when we add in like landscaping, I'll be sure to put in like grasses and rocks and all that stuff to kind of help blend it in together. So I think it is fine. For now, when doing the painting, the lines are just a little harsh. Now, I do know that the Paralives team does have plans to make like create a world or create a town feature in the game, but it doesn't really seem like that's going to be added right away in early access. So I don't really want to wait a year or two, and I'm kind of impatient and I just want to do it now. And I think it's kind of fun to do it this way, like almost kind of like get around it by like innovating and kind of figuring out ways to do your own thing, whether that be change the lot types or make the terrain the way you want it. I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying doing it like this way that's kind of like off the normal path, if that makes sense. I think really like there's some really good bones here, but it would just need to like, I think the ease of use for like normal players to use, I think is kind of the main thing they'd have to add. Like, for example, instead of going into the code to change the type of the lots, you could just like have a feature for that. Or instead of me having to download a mod in order to make the empty terrain bigger, it would just like, you could choose like a small lot, a medium lot, or a big lot. Like, I really think small things like those are kind of like the only things that are really like at least standing in the way of like a very basic world edit creator or like a world creator. I'd be really excited to see like what new features they could potentially add for something like this, because I mean, creating a world isn't really like a thing in life sims right now, and so I would be really interested to see how they could actually like implement it as part of the game, as opposed to like in the past where modders have just kind of developed everything. I think it could be really cool and kind of unprecedented. So I'm excited to see where the game goes in general, but like especially this aspect of it, because I have wanted to create a world in a life sim, like my own world with my own builds, my own land, like my own people, like just everything in my control. I've been wanting to do that for so long, and I'm finally like, I'm very happy that there is now kind of a way for me to do that. I think another feature that would be really cool is to kind of fix like this void area outside of the land over here. So like for this world, I kind of had to make it an island because there really was no alternative way for me to not make it an island. There's nothing that I could kind of put outside of the borders to make it look like it wasn't just kind of existing in the middle of the void. So I had to do water because of that, and so because of that it has to be an island. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's like really cool to get a kind of a chance to create your own island from scratch, but I think in the future, especially if I decide to like make multiple worlds or decide to start something else, like I would really like the option to maybe have it not be an island, if that makes sense. Like have it connected to a piece of land, to kind of make it seem like it's part of like a big continent or something. I think that would be really nice. That could be another feature that they add in whenever they finally get to do the whole create a world and add that into the game. So for the lake in the middle, I put some sand and then some dirt around it, but I feel like this ring of dirt around the lake is way too thick, and I definitely need to shorten it. I did want to put the dirt around this just because we're not right by the ocean. This is still technically on land, so it wouldn't make sense, at least in my mind, for the sand to just kind of be there. So I think the dirt kind of offers like a nice buffer between the grass and the sand. Yeah, I think this side with the dirt ring kind of trimmed back a bit looks a lot better than this side where it's still thick. So that's definitely the right move. And then I'm going to fill in the lake with sand, I think. Alright, so the lake actually looks pretty weird with sand filled in it, so it's just going to be dirt. I feel like kind of done, at least with the terrain painting part. So I was playing around with just some stuff in debug, and I accidentally like put these holes in the terrain here, and I'm trying to find a way to like flatten it out, and I can't. I have no idea what is here, what object this is, but it just created these holes in the ground, and there's like no way to get rid of them. I've tried like undoing the work I've done, and it still remains there. I've tried flattening the terrain over, it doesn't do anything. So this is definitely a bug of sorts, and so I'm gonna take a gamble and I'm gonna quit the game now before it auto saves again, and I'm gonna hope I didn't lose too much progress. Okay, that's not bad. I just have to redo half of this lake. At least I'll know now not to mess with that tool. So now that terrain painting is essentially done for the island, at least at this stage right now, I think the next order of business is going to be starting on the roads here. And I was kind of thinking in my planning, because I took screenshots of the island and I kind of like drew out kind of essentially where I want the roads. I want this to kind of be the downtown area over here, maybe have some neighborhoods, like some houses, and then a park up where this lake is, and then over here there will probably be some houses and maybe a few more community lots, which would then like go to more like nicer houses up here. That's just kind of what I'm thinking right now. It's definitely subject to change, but I definitely need to I think the hardest part of this is just going to be starting it, so I should probably do that. Okay, why would they not make this street piece line up exactly with the width of the other street pieces? That doesn't really make sense to me. Let's see, am I able to? Okay, I can. Okay, well I can manipulate it, but then that also makes the sidewalk bigger on the side too, and I don't necessarily want that. Alright, I think just having this sidewalk area expanded a little bit is just going to have to work. When I'm kind of detailing the landscaping, I'll try and find a way of just making that a little less noticeable, but I think it's just going to be how it has to be for now, which is fine. I'll live. If anyone has any name suggestions of what I could call this island, let me know, because I'm trying to think of some and I'm having a bit of a hard time. What's nice is now that I kind of have like the bones of some of the streets laid out, I could just copy and paste it, and now it's like a lot simpler to kind of do the streets. And now I really just kind of have to fit it for what I'm exactly doing at that moment, which is nice. So originally I was kind of wanting the street to curve along the edge of the island here, but I'm actually thinking I'm not going to do that. And the reason why is because I said houses are going to be over here. I would really like it if these houses could kind of have like their own private beach area, and I feel like if I have the street curving along that, there won't be enough room for it. So instead, I think I'm just going to carry along with the kind of block pattern that I've been doing, and then I'll just build houses around that. This is probably enough room for some houses on this side, so I should probably end the street here. Alright, so I think this is going to be roughly the street pattern for the main town. And for the roads that are going to be up here, I think I'm actually going to use terrain paint for this, because for these road pieces, they're only in like very specific shapes, and they're not exactly what I was kind of thinking of for up here. Like up here in this mountainous area, I want kind of windy roads, and I don't think I can achieve that with these pieces, so I'm instead going to switch to this asphalt terrain paint and then go from there. I wish we could have the grid on when we were doing terrain painting as well. I think that would really help with making things even and having it exactly where it's supposed to be, because right now I'm just kind of guessing, and I kind of hope that I have enough room on each side for lots. I'm just gonna hope for the best. I may do a cul-de-sac of sorts at the end here. I might not. I'm not 100% sure what I kind of want to do with this area yet, and so I'm gonna keep it there for now, but there's a pretty good chance that I might be changing that. A part of me is worried that the slope of this terrain is too steep for the roads. I softened it out, or I tried to soften it out a bit when I was doing the actual terrain itself, but the more I look at it, especially now that the road is in, the more I'm kind of worried it's not gonna work. Okay, I think that's a bit better. I'll have to test functionality with this before I start kind of planting lots to make sure that pairs can walk up these roads. Alright, so this is what I kind of came up with. You can see that in the town, the roads are a bit more developed and a bit more structured, and then as you go up into like this hill slope mountain complex, they start to get a bit more windy and a bit more freeform. And yeah, I kind of marked off bits where I imagined houses would go, like here, and probably all along the roads down here. But I don't quite know exactly what the lots are going to look like yet. I think my next step is really going to be planning out what lots I really kind of want to have on this island, and then from there figuring out where they are going to go. I think for right now I'm probably going to call this video done. If you've enjoyed what I'm doing so far and you want to follow along on the journey, feel free to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and then leave a comment as to what stuff you'd like to see me include on this island. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video of me building this world from scratch. All right, bye everybody.